friends, it's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Our video today is jam-packed full of stamping ideas. Now, it's really going to focus on what I call SIP cards, S-I-P, stamps, ink, and paper. You know, sometimes I think we get so overwhelmed feeling like we need so much stuff. We need this and this and this, and then you look at the Stampin' Up! Catalog and you see these gorgeous suites of products and you think, wow, I need it all. Well, that's fine and dandy. I love people like you that need it all. I need it all. But I like to dial it back also and focus on just a stamp set of a suite. Because I think sometimes stamp sets on their own kind of get overlooked because we feel like we need everything. We need all the embellishments, we need the paper, we need the embossing folders, the specialty papers, the whole 9 yards. But you know what? In reality, the stamp sets are gorgeous and we can make some easy cards just using the stamp set. Now, if you're a beginner stamper, a lot of times these stamp sets are perfect for starting out. Think in terms of stamps, ink, and paper. That's really all you need to make beautiful cards. So the card I'm going to make for you is just that, a SIP card. But because I know a lot of you like to step it up, as I like to call it, I've got about 20 other samples. I'm going to show you how you can use the stamp set and really step it up by adding more products and more things and more dies and more cutting and more all of that to it. So we're kind of going from simple to very stepped up, but the stamping part will just be the simple. So lots of babbling. Quickly, before I go ahead and flip this camera down. If you're brand new to my YouTube channel, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learn a lot and you enjoy what I have to share with you today. If you do, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I try to come about twice a week with quick and easy stamping videos, and share my video channel with your friends. I truly appreciate that. And then if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Hop over to my website. You'll find the link down in the video description, and over there you can request a catalog if you don't already have one, or you can see all of the projects that I share on a weekly basis. So that's enough. Let's flip this camera down. Let's get stamping. So real quick before we get into our card, I just want to show you where you find the stamp set we're using today. So this is the January through June mini catalog. You'll see the stamp set I'm using featured on the catalog cover, as well as this gorgeous spread. They've put this stamp set as part of a suite, and this is what I was referring to. You open up this page, you see all these pretties, look at all these fabulous coordinating products, which is awesome. Flip the page over, here's our stamp set. So especially if you're a newer stamper and this seems a little bit overwhelming, you know what, take a good look at just the stamp set, because it is a great one for beginners to be able to make all occasion cards. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to focus on just making some SIP cards using the stamp set. And then I've got about 20 samples I'm going to show you, just kind of a show and tell how that whole suite of products coordinates and how you can step it up. So let's go ahead. There is my stamp set. As you'll see here, this is what's called a two-step stamp. So these two images, we're going to actually stack them on top of each other to get a lot of detail. And it's really cool because the images themselves have a lot of detail. So lots of detail here. But I love all the different words in here because we've got congratulations, happy birthday, thank you, I'm thinking of you. Great kind of all occasion starter stamp set. So let's look at what we've got for cardstock here. This is the basic white note cards and envelopes. Great, again, for beginners, but I tell you what, I use these a ton for quick and easy cards. They come in a package of 20. You get the note card and the envelope. They're already scored, so all we need to do is fold this in half. Now, little tip for folding, when you feel this, there's a little ridge here. It's raised up there and it's sunk down there. You always want to fold with that ridge to the inside. It seems a little backwards. I struggled trying to remember that for the longest time, but that's how you get the best fold. And then I like to use my bone folder and go over it because that gives, see how flat that lays? I just really like that real crisp, flat look on there. So let's set that kind of aside there. And then I've cut a couple layers. So I have a piece of the basic white, and this is 4 by 2.5, I believe. Now, don't worry about these measurements. The card I'm stamping today, I'll feature over on my blog post, and I'll have pictures of the card along with all the measurements and a list of all the supplies I use. So if you love what I do, you can hop over there and see it all. And then if you'd like to place an order, I just make it super simple. So let's get stamping here. On this piece, we're going to start out by putting our greeting. Now what I did is I took two of the words, because it's kind of fun because you can kind of mix and match and put some of these together. So I have "you are lovely" and "thank you." And I did put them onto one block. Now you could stamp them individually, but with them all on one block, it's like, voila, we get it all at once. So we're going to just go ahead, stamp that towards the bottom there, and then we can put our black away. And let's bring in our stamps. So we have Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to start with the leaf image here. Now this one's not a two-step, okay? So the leaf is kind of all on its own. So we're going to just stamp them coming off the side there. Now we'll get to the two-step part. So the bolder one, you want a little bit lighter so that the more detailed one really shows on top of it. Now, some people like to use two different stamp sets or stamp pads. I like to just use one. So we're going to ink it up in Gorgeous Grape. This image has to be lighter, so we'll stamp on scrap paper first, and then we'll come on here and stamp it on to our real one. Now we'll use the exact same ink pad. We'll ink it up in that same Gorgeous Grape, but this time we're coming full strength and stamping right on top. And you can see how we've got our varied colors there. So there is our panel for our card. Then I have a piece of basic black. So we're going to go ahead. I love using black. If you follow me and you look on my website and my blog, you'll see that I almost always put greetings. Oh, I smudged that a little bit. Oh, well. I almost always put my greetings in black because I think they pop, and I love to layer with black cardstock. I just think it makes everything pop out. Okay, let's come to our note card here. And just to add a little bit of dimension, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back here. So these are just kind of a two-sided adhesive, raised up some people call them dots, I guess, pop dots or something like that. And then we can go ahead and put that right onto that note card. And that just adds a little bit of dimension versus adhering it flat onto the note card. And then I always like to stamp something on the inside of my cards. I think they should be pretty too. So we're going to go ahead and put the leaf. Now you see why I always stamp on grid paper as well. It gives you great scrap paper. You can come off the edge like that. And then we'll do the same thing with a smaller flower. We'll go on scrap paper first, and we're going to just stamp it right there. And then there's this little detailed piece. We'll put that on top, and there is the inside. Now the other thing, besides the inside of your card, I always like to stamp my envelopes. You know, we don't want to send boring mail. Okay? I like to say, no naked envelopes. So again, on the left side here, we're going to have that flower coming off. Scrap paper, we'll use the big one. I think we still have plenty of room to write an address there. And we'll bring this one right on top. And there we go. There is our note card. You are lovely, thank you. And look at how simple that is. All we used was stamps, ink, and paper. So that's why I call this a SIP card. Now, I have so many things to show you using the same stamp set. So first, let's go ahead and bring in these. I actually have two other ones that I stamped the exact same way. I just use different words and different colors. So here we have Melon Mambo, okay, inside envelope. I'm thinking of you. And then this one was Mango Melody. And again, envelope, inside, and happy birthday, I miss you. So this is what I say, this is a great beginner stamp set, you know, without getting into all the dies and everything else, because look at the beautiful cards you can make with just 2 ink pads, well 3 if you want to add black, the note cards and envelopes, a little bit of white, a little bit of black, and you're good to go. So let's set these aside. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one here because I want to show you how easy it is to take a basic design, okay? There's our basic design, flower, you know, words, whatever. And here, I just stepped this one up a little bit. My white and my black are the exact same size. So I stamped on that white panel, just like I did here. I think they're the same size. Maybe it's a little big. It might be a little bit bigger. But I stamped on that panel, and then I embossed it. So you'll see here, what I'm actually doing is pulling in a lot of the other products from this suite. So let's find it here. So there is, and it's kind of hidden. I had a hard time finding it initially, that you'll see it's called the Painted Texture 3D Embossing Folder. Great texture, especially with this kind of hand-painted look. So after I stamped, I embossed it, so it kind of looks like it was painted on canvas. Then I just embossed another layer, added a little linen bow on there, linen thread bow, and then my happy birthday I punched out with the classic label punch. So did I? Yep, and I stayed true to my word. Sometimes I don't do it. Inside, and there's the envelope. But you can see how by just adding that embossing and a punch, it just stepped it up a little bit. And then if you really want to step it up, here's kind of the same layout. Now I brought in the dies that coordinate with this stamp set. So you can see our white layer is embossed with the embossing folder. These pieces were cut out with a die. This little label is a die that's part of that suite of products, as is this really pretty ribbon. Okay, it's kind of got some gold threading in it. But that just really, I think, shows you how very simple. SIP card, great for those of you just starting out. You know, add an embossing folder and a punch, and look at how much that steps up the card. And then if you really want to get into a lot of the coordinating products, we've used a lot of them there. So hang with me, guys. I have so many other cards to share with you with this stamp set. I did kind of go a little bit crazy here. Now, the ones I'm going to show you are, I'm not going to show on the website. So if you want to see all these, you got to watch them on the video. But I thought it would be fun just to go through them, give you more ideas. This, just want to say, that's part of the dies that come with this bundle. And again, same kind of stamping, but I added the dies on there. And then with this one, again, a lot of the products, there you can see that embossing folder again. And then this image is one in the stamp set. And I will tell you, this isn't a two-step. Well, it is. You can put this one on top of it. But when you stamp this, you're going to get, I got my green and my melon mambo all together. So I stamped it twice, once in green, or granny apple green, once in melon mambo. And then I did just cut out the flowers and popped them up with dimensionals on top of it. So that's an easy way to get multicolor in a stamp that really has, you know, it's all attached as one. Okay, now, big stack of cards. I'm going to go through rather quick with these. I did feature these already on my website, I think. So you're going to have to scroll back on the website. And I think this is the one I also did a video on. It's just a fun fold card. And then a bunch of these, I recently did an online stamping class or a tutorial collection. I kind of call them both. But it has 12 different cards. Several of them are fun folds. And so if you're interested in that tutorial, you can hop over to my website, go to my tutorial store, and it's there. But this was kind of a fun fold. You'll see I featured the Designer Series paper as well as the Happy Thoughts stamp set, which if you follow me, you know that's like my favorite. It's kind of near and dear to my heart. So lots of fun folds in that class. Here's another one. This was similar to that one. But then I just put together a whole bunch of different cards. Now the color choices on all of these cards are ones that coordinated with the Designer Series paper. So, but again, you'll have, oh, this one, there we go. That one's very similar to that one, just different colors. But you can see how beautiful that image is. But I hope by showing you all of these cards, you really can see the versatility of this stamp set, and especially when you add the dies and the Designer Series paper. There's just the Designer Series paper. And then there's the final one. So there you go, guys. That is a huge pile of cards. So let's bring it all the way back to where we started with SIP cards. So don't let this overwhelm you, especially if you're a newer stamper. This stamp set is gorgeous because of that big, bold image. Add a greeting and you're good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you picked up a few tips. Again, down in the description of the video will be a link to the blog post. I'll have pictures of these cards over there, as well as all of the supplies that I used. And if you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order for any of the things I used today or anything else, I truly appreciate it when you select me to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I'll be back again in a few days with another quick and easy stamping video. Until I stamp with you again, have a stamp happy day.